Welcome to another Demarcation Media Mega Construx review. Today we are going to be taking a look at Fireteam Eagle. Now today's video is kind of special because on the Domains channel he is dropping a review of this exact same set today. When I say exact same set, I mean like literally all of these exact same figures. So I bought this and Fireteam Crimson from him. So he's going to be dropping his review today. And mine is going live today. So as soon as you finish this video, go head over to his channel and watch his review, get his take on it as well. I will put the link to the video in the description of this one, and I might pop it up in like one of these little corner cards or something as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So I don't have the box. This set was used. I think Simon got it used, but I do have the instructions. Go, very classic looking. They're all jumping into battle. Nice background. And then the interesting thing is it's kind of just a long train of paper. And it just kind of stretches out and down and you get to see how to build it. We get to see the ad for the new interchangeable armor system because that was pretty new at the time and pretty revolutionary. We can get to see all the figures here. Gonna see them all in action again, and there's some options with the flight stand. So the Fireteam sets were all about the figures, so let's go ahead and start looking at those figures, starting with the dude in the air. So this is an aviator Spartan. I decided to give him the jetpack because, you know, aviator has to do with flying and a jetpack has to do with flying. Now this jetpack is interesting. This is not your standard UNSC jetpack. I'm guessing that this is a like Halo 4 and 5 version because the one we see in like all the other games has like little nozzles sticking out the sides. So I don't know exactly what this pack is, but we haven't seen it very often. And Mega, I think, only used it in a couple sets. So this is pretty cool to get. Jump packs are always cool because like what's cooler than just a Spartan? Well, a Spartan that's flying around over the battlefield shooting everyone. You get this flight stand to go along with it. It just pegs into one of the thruster sections of the jump pack itself. And then the jump pack, of course, just pegs on like a normal backpack. So you can put that on anybody you like. The other option for this flight stand is to clip the hard light shield to it. Although this clip might be busted. Yeah, it looks like the clip is cracked. It doesn't want to stay floating. But yeah, you could do that if you have a watcher. You can have the shield suspended in the air. And then the figure himself is in the Eagle color scheme, which is a really odd one. It's yellow. And then they decided to go with like a creamy white color for the visors. So I'm not really sure what the thought processes were behind it. It's a little bit of an odd color scheme. I would have picked something like blue for the visor because that would have stood out a lot more. But this is kind of cool. I know Aviator in particular probably isn't everyone's cup of tea because it does have a very long face and it doesn't look particularly intimidating. But out of all of the weird Halo 4 and 5 armors, I think this is one of the better ones. I think the shoulder armors look kind of cool. Chest plate looks cool. I like how bulky the lower legs are. Looks pretty good around the back. Because this is like a Fireteam set, there's very minimal printing over the figure, just the visor. And then we get, what is this? This is a light rifle? I think that's what this is. Light rifle or a suppressor. I'm not great with the Promethean weapons. But all the weapons in this set are Promethean. And I'm really happy about that because we don't get very many Promethean weapons. And this one's really cool. No print, but it looks pretty darn cool because that mold, the whole sculpt and everything is amazing. And then we get a clip like bar attachment here so we can like stick it to the knights. But I don't have any knights to show you how that works. So you just have to take my word for it. Basically, it allows this gun to become an arm by itself without being held on the handle here. Very, very interesting figure. Next up, we have the Spartan Oceanic. Now, this is another Spartan that is not everyone's cup of tea. And usually, I like this armor a lot. Before I go on, you get stands like this for everybody, including the jump pack guy. But yeah, usually I really like this armor, despite what everybody says about it looking super ugly. But I gotta say, this color scheme is not super flattering to this armor, and the white visor is not super flattering to this armor. I don't think it's a bad figure. I just think it's not the best color for this. I think the like red Oceanic looked the best, in my opinion. Red or blue. But this one's a bit jarring, and since a lot of people don't like this design already, I think having it be even more jarring is kind of odd. And then this guy, poor guy, he's got a wrist problem. His hand, he can wave to you like that, and that's not supposed to happen. So I'm going to have to fix that. The hand came with a big nub of plastic, like, sticking off the end. And that means when they put I imagine that they put the hand in when the arm is still a little bit soft. And so when that happens, that means the arm doesn't get molded properly, and so the hand won't go in all the way. It just kind of shows that some of Mega's quality control issues have not changed, because we get this same issue to this very day. Then we have a bolt shot. I think that's what that is. No print, but again, the sculpt for that gun is just fantastic, so it really doesn't need print. And it is a Promethean weapon, and they look really cool, and we don't get them very often. So that is a huge plus here. But I would imagine a lot of people will probably say that this figure is not a huge plus, unfortunately. Scout, though. Scout is actually really nice looking in this color. I don't know if it's just because Scout looks good in pretty much any color or what, but this looks fantastic. The visor is more shiny than the rest of the figures, so I think that helps. Got a black outline around the bottom of the visor. Of course, we just got the rest of the standard Scout armor. Now, it's interesting to note that there are two variants of Scout, because Sarah Palmer is a figure that you can get in a couple different versions of her. But the chest plate that we see here is a male-specific chest plate, which means there is both male and female-specific chest plates of Scout. So that's kind of a strange thing that Mega did Scout as one of the first ones that got both. Big, bulky shoulders. Looks really cool. Allows you to get a nice T-pose in. Not a ton around the back. Again, these Fireteam sets didn't get a ton of printing aside from their like visors and whatnot. And then this guy has is this a scatter shot? Is that what this is? I'm not sure. But this is the first time I've actually owned one of these pieces, and it looks really cool. The little sight sticking up, the way the end is so wide. This is essentially a Promethean shotgun. That's basically what it is. Again, it's got the little arm attachment, so a Promethean knight can use it as his arm instead of, holding it like a gun. So that looks pretty cool. I think this dude looks fantastic. Scout just looks so good in pretty much every color scheme. And I really like how they did the kind of black outline. Helps set the visor apart from the rest of the figure. Next up, we have a Spartan soldier. Now, this guy has the most print out of all the figures here. He's got the face print, which is like, it's almost whenever I look at the soldier armor, it always makes me think of like a cross between a dog and a bird. But it always looks really intimidating because it's got this look of like smug, but also angry. And when you look at this guy, the black stands out first, and you kind of have to look a little bit more to see that, oh, there's actually a visor in there. I think that visor might be the same shiny as the Scout. But then on top of that, we got some chest print. So like up here at the collar, and then all these pouches. The pouches look great. I think Spartan armor looks really, really cool when you like layer pouches on top. There it is around the back. And then this guy is armed with an incineration cannon, which is absolutely massive and looks super awesome. This is another weapon that this is my first time actually getting to see in the person. And the mold looks great. All the details on there. It's fantastic. And this one is another one that can be used as a Promethean Knight arm. So this dude is right up there next to the Scout. I think that this is, despite the odd color scheme, this guy still manages to look really good wearing it. And last but not least, we have the Enforcer Spartan. He comes armed with, is this a binary rifle? I think this is a binary rifle. Huge, huge weapon. Look at that. It's as tall as he is. Another one that can be used as a Promethean Knight arm. This guy shows off something I'm not really sure that I'm going to be able to show fully on camera. But there is a difference, as is kind of standard for certain Mega Construx colors. There's a difference between the like more rubbery pieces on the figure and the harder pieces. So the head and the lower arms are kind of a darker yellow than the chest plate and the rest of the armor, which is a little weird in some light and whatnot. It's not as noticeable here as it is on, like, say, some of the metallic green Spartans, but it is a thing that exists. Visor is just white, although the print is pretty sharp, and it stands out pretty nicely. I like all the detail work in the visor. Enforcer is one of my favorite armors from, like, the Halo 4 or 5 era. I think it just looks really good. It feels very Halo to me. I know some people probably won't agree with that, but I think it looks pretty darn good. And even in this color scheme, it looks pretty good. I think it says a lot about an armor when it can look good in bright yellow with a white visor. I think if it can look good like that, then the designers did a good job. But yeah, there's his rifle again. He is ready to take out pretty much anybody from any distance. That is a absolutely massive gun. Here's our kind of extra stuff pile. We got the hard light shield we saw earlier. It has a clear clip on it, which unfortunately this one's cracked. So that might be an issue for me later on. We get another stand for whoever you have doing the jump pack. And then we get 4 brain teasers of Doom in kind of silver. I've gotten some of these before in like a translucent neon orange. But silver makes them look more like a normal grenade instead of some sort of hard light projection. You can kind of set them up on the ground so they look almost like mines. So that's pretty cool. The Fireteam sets always came with some sort of like structure, landscape, fortification, something. And this one is really unique because it's a piece of Forerunner tech, like structure on either side of some sort of little gap. And we get a hard light bridge, which looks really, really neat. There's some clear supports underneath. I'm not exactly sure why Mega put the extra clear pieces here. That doesn't really seem to do much, but, you know, it is what it is. And then we got like a little step on this side. There's like the more iconic pillar sections. It's on this pair of green base plates. This looks really cool. Let me go ahead and we'll grab the Enforcer Spartan. Can we make him kind of like stepping up? That's a bit of a high step, actually, even for a Spartan. I think maybe Mega should have put like one silver 2x4 here. I think maybe that would have helped. But you can do that, or you can pose them up on the bridge. Obviously, you could use the studs on the side, or if you feel like fiddling a little bit, you could just have him kind of stand there in the middle of the bridge. I think that looks really good. I'm looking forward to getting this into some photos and have some guys fighting on the hard light bridge. And then we have a Fireteam Eagle flag, which looks really cool. Now, the first Fireteams had the flags that would hang down like this, which we'll see that. I'm going to be reviewing Fireteam Crimson as well, but we'll see that later. But this one kind of stands up like a normal flag. You can have your figures carry it like so, or you could just stick it anywhere. The instructions tell you to stick it there where it's kind of out of the way, but you could stick it really anywhere. So that's really nice. I miss Mega making these things, and that's a little weird to say because I wasn't even collecting at the time, but they really need to do more just small structures like this, because this is great. This is what you want to get lots of to build up like a diorama or just a little battle scene or something. Put it in some photos. Like, we need more of this. Mega, this was great. Why did you stop? Why did you go to just making vehicles and never terrain? Like, this is fantastic. We need more, please. Well, there you have it. That is Fireteam Eagle. I feel like this is one of the more risky Fireteams that Mega made. They kind of It's just a very out there color scheme. It's very in your face. It's very vibrant, which if you're targeting a younger audience, I think is great. But I think a lot of the older audience probably won't particularly love this color scheme. Personally, I think that on the 3 figures in the middle, the color scheme looks great. It works pretty well. You know, it would have been nice to have a little bit more like black or something to break up the monotony of the yellow for the Enforcer. But both the Soldier and the Scout have some extra black, which makes them, you know, a little bit more easy on the eyes. The Oceanic, unfortunately, it's not the greatest Oceanic I've ever seen. It's a very jarring color scheme for already iffy armor for a lot of people. The Aviator doesn't look bad, but I don't feel like he stands out to me as like really, really good either. He just kind of is. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I could see this dude being in a blind bag or something. Overall, I think, like, as a whole, this set is great because the structure build is fantastic. The flag looks great. You get a lot of extras, you know, some brain teasers of doom to blow up your enemies. The really cool jump pack, hard light shield. Hard light shields just look awesome. So overall, it's a really good set, I would say. There's a lot of good weapons, but I just think the color scheme won't appeal to a ton of people just right off the bat. So I don't know how this set performed in the stores, but I feel like it would be one that was overlooked a fair bit, but I could be wrong. But yeah, it's a really cool set. I definitely would recommend you peruse around on eBay or Mercari and see if you could find one for a decent price. I feel like between 25 and 40 maybe would be an okay price for this set. Any more than that, it feels like a bit much. Now, remember, Simon's video on this set is releasing today as well. So if you're watching this a couple days after the release of this video, then his video will already be out. But go to the link in the description below, go watch his video, see what he thinks about the set, and then let me know your thoughts, because I would love to hear what you think about the set. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.